Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you. I am Anthony Oer, the manager of the AutoMobility Cluster at Lux Innovation, and I will be your first moderator this morning. Together with my colleague Caroline Muller, manager of the Materials and Manufacturing Cluster, and Charles-Albert Florentin, manager of the CleanTech Cluster, we have the great pleasure to welcome you to this new Present Yourself edition. So please, Caroline and Charles-Albert, could you please say a few words, a welcome to all the participants to make sure that the platform is working fine?
So hello everyone, we are very happy to receive you here for the 5th edition of and cross-sectorial Present Yourself. I hope everything is fine, so we will present you the different options of this webinar. You can ask questions, answer to poll, chat, and discuss with people.
Hello everyone. Yes, very happy to welcome you today on this platform, and we will have hopefully a very nice exchange and cross-fertilization.
Thank you, Charles-Albert. We are glad to see that this webinar today is followed by more than 100 people, which is a good sign that the cross-sectorial collaboration is drawing a lot of attention. This Present Yourself edition will offer participants the opportunity to know better their peers based in Luxembourg, with the ultimate goal to stimulate collaboration and business development. So Nathalie, if you can please put the presentation on the screen. Yes, thank you. So I can go through the agenda. The webinar will start with a short introduction about the extension of the investment aid aimed at stimulating business investment in the COVID-19 period. My colleague Stefano will say a few words about the Fit for NMP project, which is a recently launched support action funded by the EU Commission in the field of nanotechnology, advanced material, and new manufacturing processes, so-called NMP. Then Caroline will introduce 6 companies from the 3 clusters that will present their activity and core competencies. Please note that during the presentation, you have the possibility to ask a question on the right side of your screen, or like a question asked by other participants. We have as well prepared a poll. So if you take a look on the right side of your screen, you will see a poll. And we can make already a quick test with you. You see that the first question is, what is your motivation level today? With 3 potential answers. I am happy to attend this webinar. Medium, I'll get another coffee. Low, thanks God it's Friday. So please feel free to click on one of the answers so that we can make sure the platform works fine this morning. And to conclude this session, my colleague Charles Albert will stress the importance of cross-sectorial collaboration to foster new business opportunities. Now, let me give you a quick overview of the temporary investment aid aimed at stimulating the post-COVID recovery. We all know that the economic consequences of the COVID pandemic are far from being mastered. Over the past month, many companies like yours have had to question themselves and adapt or even completely modify their operational processes or their business model. To support the economy recovery, the government has decided to prolong until the end of May the Neustart law that was voted in July last year. The purpose of this law is to encourage companies facing a significant drop in turnover to make investment that would otherwise have been cancelled or postponed. The table you see here on the screen summarizes the 3 different types of investment aid that are covered by the law. So the first category is about development projects. Those projects are, for example, focusing on building extension, increase in production capacity, business diversification, or the fundamental transformation of production processes or services. Please note that the aid intensity depends on the company size, with 20% for large company, 25% for medium size, and 30% for small companies. In addition, projects in the frame of circular economy can benefit from a 20% bonus. The second category is about organization and process innovation project. That is the implementation of a new organization method in business practices, workplace organization, or external relation. Such innovation may, for instance, foster remote working practices. Regarding process innovation, we are talking here about the implementation of a new or significantly improved production or delivery method. Here, the head intensity is 50%, whatever the company size, and the project must go beyond the purchase of ready-made solution and involve internal effort. Finally, the third category is about energy efficiency project. Those projects consist in increasing energy performance, reducing energy consumption, or implementing measures going beyond the requirement set by national standard. Please note that here as well, the head intensity is 50%, whatever the company size, and investment required to comply with existing regulation or norms are not eligible. To conclude this section, I would like to stress the following important points. The overall aid is limited to a maximum of 800,000 euro, for each undertaking at the group level. To be eligible, the company needs to demonstrate a 15% drop in turnover over the April to December 2020 period compared to the same period in 2019, or the average monthly turnover in 2019. Very important point. The project shall not be started before the aid is granted by the Ministry of Economy. There is a minimum investment required from company. It is 20,000 euro for micro and small businesses, 50,000 for medium-sized enterprises, and 250,000 for large companies. The company shall not be in difficulty as of the 31st of December 19. Finally, the aid application to the ministry must be filled by the 31st of May this year. But very important point as well, the company has up to 3 years to execute the project. So here that means that if you are planning to make investment in 2021, you can already file an application this year, but before May. So that's very important point as well. The investment you are planning in the next 3 years can be taken into consideration as well. On this slide, you can see the overall application process. Bear in mind that the ministry has to treat a lot of demands, so we encourage you to file your application right now. You can see here that the instruction period done by the Ministry of the Economy is I would say the variable is variable. It's minimum 6 to 8 weeks. So it takes quite some time until you get the final go ahead to kick off your project. So here as well, I would like to stress the importance not to wait, and if you want to request such support, don't wait too long to file your application. Let me remind you as well that Lux Innovation is your contact point for national funding. You can rely on us to provide guidance, practical information, and assistance on the most appropriate aid scheme supporting the challenges you are facing. With this being said, I'd like to give the floor to my colleague Stefano, who will now present the Fit for NMP project. Stefano, the floor is yours.
Anthony, thanks. Thank you very much. And good morning, everyone. Yes, today a very short presentation about, yes, for one time I'm not presenting the Commission program. The aim of today is to present a program in which we are collaborating, funded by the Commission. So the Fit for NMP project is targeted at supporting and incentivize newcomers to participate to NMP projects. in Horizon Europe. So an overview of the project, it's a project lasting 3 years. We started 1st of January this year, and we are going to work on this until December 2023. We received 1.5 million from the Commission in total. We are 10 people, 10 partners working on the consortium, and we are coordinated by Intelligentsia Consultants, which is a Luxembourg consulting firm working on EU and other kind of grants. Here, the consortium, you see on the top left, the Intelligentsia, quite a lot of innovation agencies involved. So we are working with our colleagues from Latvia, Poland, yes, mostly Eastern European innovation agencies. And we have also an interesting partner, the ASTP, for the promotion of technology transfer initiative. What's the scope of Fit for NMP? The scope of Fit for NMP is to increase the participation of talented newcomers. So for people who have not been participating substantially to European projects so far, and in regions that are underrepresented in the fields of nanotechnology, advanced materials, and new manufacturing processes. Why do we work in this domain? Because in Luxembourg, even if we have a very good application base in theory, we don't have many applications for this area. In particular, when it comes to SMEs and companies in general. The focus of the project is on the 4 key pillars of the NMP area. If for those of you who have followed our events on Horizon Europe, you may know that this area is now covered into the Cluster 4 Digital Industry and Space under the industrial part of Cluster 4. What are the key focus in this area? Advanced materials, the manufacturing technologies, including the digitalization of the manufacturing process, circularity, and clean industry. So you have topics which are related to Industry 4.0, industrial symbiosis, circularity, zero waste landfill, hubs for circularity, so these regions where you have industrial symbiosis processes and zero waste landfill. So these are the kind of things. For the material side, instead, the focus is on new materials, sustainable by design materials, circular by design materials, new how it's called, additive manufacturing, new materials for additive manufacturing. So it's about the innovation in the industrial technologies. What does the project do? 2 kind of things: a strategic support and a targeted support. On the strategic side, the idea is to try to identify in the regions that are currently a bit underrepresented, why this is happening. So what are the complex reasons for non-participation of innovators in NMP? Via surveys, for instance, via interviews, etc. We will also have some analysis of the best practices from the public side, how the innovation agencies can make good use of practices developed in our regions, but also in other countries, to promote participation. Then, very important, the targeted support. What you will benefit from this project. We will have innovation workshops between newcomers and the top innovators in Europe and the top networks in Europe. We will have trainings on technology transfer, proposal writing, and the use of the Commission tools for fostering participation. And also what we will do is what we already do normally in our team in Lux Innovation. So go for some hands-on support for your proposals. Final slide on the 5-step approach that we have in Fit for NMP. First, and is what we're doing now, we are mapping people and we are mapping the key networks and the top innovators. We will have then joint workshops and proposals between talented newcomers and top innovators, training and hands-on support, policy recommendation for governments and for the Commission, and the support in the promotion of your participation into the project. If you want to know more about the project, feel free to contact Giles at Intelligentsia Consultant. He is the coordinator of the project. I think many of you already know him. And for any other information about Horizon Europe projects, don't hesitate to contact me directly, or contact me through the also the functional email we have in our team. And yes, I give you the floor back to Caroline Charabert, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Stefano, for the nice presentation of this Fit for an MP project where Lux Innovation is part of, is really happy to be part of. So now we're moving to the Present Yourself sessions, and today we will hear 6 companies from the 3 different sectors. I will invite all the audience to ask questions in the questions tab that you have on the upper right of your screen. And there will be 2 minutes left at the end of each presentation to ask questions to our speakers. The first speaker will be Mr. Lorenzo Zullo. He's co-founder of ChemChang, a young and very advanced company in chemicals tracking along the value chain. So Lorenzo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to present you what we are doing, because it's a very exciting project, at least for us, strictly linked to the issue of circular economy. I'm Lorenzo Zullo, the CEO of ChemChang, and we have a core team of 4 people with a wide range of expertise, from a regulatory aspect to IT technology, and also access to funds. And this is not our first entrepreneurial activities. We founded our first company in 2015 that was in the Netherlands, and our scope was mainly to monitor regulatory developments in the area of chemicals and materials worldwide. And then a couple of years ago, we realized that there was an increasing need for exchanging of data along the supply chain, and therefore we decided to create a separated company, ChemChang, in Luxembourg, which is really focusing on tracking chemicals along the value chain. Why tracking chemicals? This is strictly linked to the sustainability and circular economic models. In simple words, if you don't know which chemicals are present in the materials, you cannot know how to recycle it and how to properly handle the waste stream or to recover those materials. And for this reason, there is an increasing demand in the supply chain from clients to ask to their suppliers information on the chemical composition. However, it is a sensitive information because it's also part of the company's know-how, how they make certain materials, certain products. So there is really a kind of barrier in exchanging this information that is anyhow precious at different level of the supply chain. And that's why we thought that it was good to elaborate a possible solution for that. So what we've been working on is a cross-industry communication infrastructure, which allowed companies to receive from their supplier information about the raw materials. They can create a digital passport, and then they can move forward the digital passport to the next actors in the supply chain. In terms of type of information we exchange, we cover the chemical composition, but we also look into the sustainability information. For example, if you have some sustainable sources of raw materials, or also safety information. So any type of information that could somehow be useful throughout the full life cycle of a product. In order to do that, we have developed a software as a service solution, which is built on blockchain. Why that? Because we needed a decentralized solution to ensure that all these sensitive information are not stored in the same place and centralized to a single company. We have also introduced a proprietary end-to-end encryption mechanism that will allow the users to introduce into the blockchain information fully encrypted, and they can control who and at which moment in time that specific information can be accessible. And this protection mechanism, it's so robust and embedded into the system that even us, as a service provider, we cannot access the data of the user. So they are the only one being able to look and decrypt their information, or whoever they give the key to. And also it's a scalable model. So the idea is really to be able to track, that's the vision, all materials going through industrial processes in any type of sector. So it's an infrastructure that is easily scalable and can reach that scope. Here you have an example of information flow along the supply chain. So you have some chemical companies that produce some chemicals for formulators that then end up in a battery, and then that battery enter into a car. And what you can see here in this scheme is the fact that each actor in the supply chain can introduce or combine information from their supplier, and even decided which information should remain locked. And that's the red locks you see on the picture. And the idea is that the owner of that specific data block will be able to give access to who they want and at which moment in time to other parties. But they have full control of that even after the product is being placed on the market. But let me give you some clear example, because we have already some pilots going on, and that will help to give you a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So with Dow Chemicals, we have two pilots. The first one is related to the Renewable program, which is a program for recollecting and recovering the polyurethane foam from mattresses. So the idea there is that you have Dow Chemicals producing certain mixtures which are used to produce some polyurethane foam, which is then entering into the mattresses. And at a certain point, these mattresses need to be recycled. However, in order to recycle it, you need to know which chemicals are present in it. And that's an information that is confidential for Dow. So thanks to ChemChain, they will be able to, let's say, embed into the materials, into the products, encrypted information, and then give access only to the recycler to details about the chemical composition. So they are able to close the loop without disclosing to the full supply chain details about their products. The second pilot with Dow Chemicals, that's in another field, that's in the energy plants. And in that case, we are dealing with heat transfer fluids, which are used in solar energy plants. These heat transfer fluids need to be recycled after a certain number of years. They are extracted from the plant, and they can be recovered and then sold again to the energy plant. The idea there is also the same principle, being able to recover the material, knowing which composition is there, but without disclosing the information to all the parties that are in between. We have done then another interesting pilot with Solvay. That's in the textile area. And in this specific pilot, that's done in South America, in Brazil, in cooperation with a brand that produces sportwear clothes. And in that case, Solvay has an interest in recycling the clothes that are produced with specific fibers. In order to do that, they need to be able to identify clearly which are the clothes that are produced with those fibers. And in order to that, they use blockchain to trace the information throughout the value chain. The interesting things here is that the brand is also fully interested in this approach, and they really would like to have a kind of program for consumer to incentivize them to bring them back the clothes after they use it and after they don't need it anymore, instead of throwing to the waste bin. So the idea is really to have a kind of fidelization program with the consumers, where they can see they are incentivized in buying clothes that can somehow be recycled, and they know that they can bring it back to a central point or to the store itself, the clothes, to get back a reward. So the idea is really to have that approach widespread throughout all sectors, where you can clearly be able to trace back certain materials. And really the last pilot we have with Solvay, that's in cooperation with Procter & Gamble, and that's about the traceability of sustainable palm oil, which is used in hand washers. The complexity there is that you have the initial palm oil, which is then processed throughout the multiple steps. It go front and back between P&G and Solvay, and so they need to really trace back and ensure that what end up into the final product is really coming from the sustainable sources. So that's a bit an overview of what we are working on. We have also other applications that we're currently discussing, like for instance, the tracking of polymers used in packaging for pharmaceutical products, which require to be really traced all the production phases to ensure that they are in conformity with the requirements. So it's a very broad range of applications we're currently exploring. We have at the moment 5 pilots ongoing, and we expect to have the first results of the pilots before the summer. And afterwards, we will move forward to implementing our commercial products. That's it for the presentation for today. We have also received some funds from the European Commission at the beginning of our journey in order to run a feasibility study, and that helped us to also get in contact early stages with 12 different major companies in order to, let's say, validate the models before proceeding with developing a prototype and implementing the pilots. So that's it from our side, and we are here to address any question, or if you have any follow-up question, you can address it also to Luca, our CEO, which is also here on stage. We will be happy to address your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lorenzo, and hi, Luca. Nice to have you on stage.
Hi everybody.
So it's good. I saw that you already replied to one question related to the chemical distributors. So thank you very much. And there is another question about REACH or other, I would say, European regulations towards components. So I guess you need more information to answer that question.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I just ask Alain to maybe clarify a bit the question so we can provide more insight.
Okay. So I have a question myself, because I really enjoy your company, what you're doing. I think it's really great for the manufacturing and chemical industry. And have a simple question. What is the procedure to integrate such a solution in a supply chain system? How does it work?
Yeah, the way in which we are working now. So first, the idea is to start really from the chemical industry, from the beginning of the supply chain.
Yeah. Okay.
So while discussing with the chemical companies, they have identified which will be the specific business cases in which to apply the concept of blockchain. And then we have discussed also with other actors in the supply chain, because there are a benefit also from the others in participating. And once the model was defined, we gave access to the platform. So it's an online platform where their identity is registered, they can create their portfolio of chemicals, they can receive information from others, and they can transfer it to other actors in the supply chain. So it works online. We need, of course, to provide some guidance on how to use it, but otherwise it can be run fully independently. Of course, the first prototype is a bit raw as a structure, but the idea is to have a commercial product when simply you can sign in, and intuitively you will be able to understand how to create your products and to transfer it down the supply chain.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's it for the questions, and I thank you again, Stefano and Lorenzo. Luca and Lorenzo, and you can answer the questions directly into the questions tab. Thank you. So
thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Now we'll invite our next speaker. She's lady. She's Elisa Khan. She's head of engineering at Gideren, and she will present us Living Green Walls. If she can join on stage. Or maybe not. So we can wait a few seconds, and if she's not on stage, we'll move directly to the other speaker. So, okay, so let's wait, and we'll speak about with Mrs. Elisa Khan later on. And now I will call on stage another supplier, very interesting. It's Edin Draganovic, sales manager of Top and Screed, and he will speak about electrification of industrial flooring machines. So Edin, the floor is yours. Hopefully you can step in. Or maybe not. Maybe we can make the presentation with Charles Albert. Okay, so Edin, can you join on stage, please? Thank you very much. The floor is yours. Thank you. Yeah, we can see your presentation. We just cannot hear you. If you could unmute, that would be perfect.
Hello, everybody. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for jumping in.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lux Innovation, for this invitation and the possibility to present ourselves and our Top and Screed company. So I will start directly with a little bit of history about Top and Screed. So Top and Screed is part of CleanTech group of companies. CleanTech is a worldwide industrial flooring contractor present on the 5 continents in over 20 countries, and they are pouring approx 2 million square meters of floors around the world. So Top and Screed has initially been established in 2006 and was mainly dedicated at its beginning to the maintenance of machines for the CleanTech group. Between 2007 and 2008, some of the machines have been sold to external customers in the UK, Israel, and Estonia. But after that, the main activity of the company was dedicated again to the maintenance of CleanTech Group's machines. From 2013, we have resumed the production of new machines for the group, but also for some of very close partners. And it's only end of 2016, beginning of 2017, that the company has taken the decision to sell actually all our equipment, even outside of CleanTech Group of companies. So we have worked on different marketing images of the company. We had to renew everything. We have also been at that time labeled Made in Luxembourg by the Chamber of Commerce. And thanks to this, we have received different contacts within the Luxembourg for our exportations outside of Europe. With the Chamber of Commerce, we have taken part to an economic mission to Latin America. We have done several fairs around the world as well to make people know about Top and Screed and its products. We have delivered different machines and different sets of equipment to Saudi Arabia, but also in other customers in Europe. So sorry, I will back just behind. Top and Screed is a young company on the market. We are growing. So as I told you at the beginning, we were mainly dedicated to the maintenance of the CleanTech Group's machinery park. And it's only in 2017 that we can see a growing in our turnover evolution, and small decrease in 2020 due to the sanitary situation worldwide. But the vision for this year, if the pandemic will be behind us, we expect to be over 6 million euros of turnover. So as I told you, we are original equipment manufacturer for the machines for the industrial concrete floorings. So for sure we deliver new equipment, but we also supply second-hand machines and also refurbished machines. These machines are not accessible to every contractors, so they are small of them. They need to invest in such machines, but they don't always have the possibility and the financing to do so. So they grow step by step, and they invest sometimes in second-hand or refurbished machines. We also have specialized technicians for the maintenance and a worldwide support for our customers. We deliver also a wide range of spare parts available on demand, because in this sector, which is a niche sector in which we are working, we know that we cannot wait when you face any technical problem with the machines in the concrete. So you need to react very quickly. We also offer our customers expertise and analysis of their machinery park with a vision of investment on different time in the year, so they can have a possibility to invest in the future in new machines. The big advantage being a member of CleanTech Group of companies is that our machines are in continuous improvement, and we can always improve any problems we are facing with them. So, the difference compared to our competitors, because as I told you, it's a niche sector in which we are, so we have mainly two main competitors coming from the US, is that we have all the range of machines to realize a concrete floor. So you can see the different products here on this slide. So this is the different machines we offer to our customers. End of last year, we have released on the market a totally new and mini electric Superflat Screed. So this machine is used to level the concrete, and different reasons have bring us to electrify this sector, and we want to be placed as pioneer in the industrial flooring sector with this electric mini Screed. So the big advantages of this machine is that there is no emission while working in confined areas such as freezers, underground parkings, etc. Also, for the operators working around, the noise is reduced, and this machine is remote controlled, and it's automatically leveled by a laser system control. So the big advantage also of this machine is that you can increase the quality of your floors, but also the quality of the levels you can reach with the machine. So due to this low weight of the machine and the small size, these machines can also work on mesh, as you can see on the picture, but also can work on mezzanine, on insulation, etc. This machine, as I told you, is remote controlled. So we have implemented on this machine our own software, which is available in different languages of the world. And it's linked to a tactile touch screen, and later on you will see some views of the screen to control the machine. So there are different reasons to electrify and mechanize the sector of industrial flooring. Main of them are the shortage of labor and the unskilled manpower. But also with the mechanization of this sector, you can pour wider panel of concrete, and this is due to the pressure being put by the contractors to deliver the floors under very tight schedules. Also, one of the main reasons we electrify and have a small machine in our range of products is because the working habits in the floorings are totally changing. In the past, many contractors were pouring wide floors in horizontal, but today, due to the cost of the lands, etc., they are working more in vertical. Here you can see different views of the screen and the tablet which we provide to the customers, so they can manage everything on these tablets, and everything is user-friendly. And very important for the operators, because we are working worldwide, is that they can have this software available in their own language. Different modes are also available on the software, so you can see that all parameters can be set up automatically. So this is very important to improve the flatness and levelness of the floors, because this is very important for the future of the industrial floorings. So this is mainly for the presentation. Thank you very much for your attention, and do not hesitate to ask any questions if you have.
Thank you very much, Edine. It was really, really interesting. A lot of complexity in this system. So, Charles Albert, do we have any questions to Edine in the questions tab? I don't think so. Okay. So I think we can move to our next speaker. I thank you very much, Edine. And if some people from the audience have questions for you later on, they can still ask the questions in the questions tab, and then you will be able to reply to them directly.
No problem. They are welcome. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Very interesting. Thank you very much. So now we'll make a second try with Alisa Khan from Gideren, who will speak about living green walls. Hopefully she can join on stage. If not, we will move, unfortunately, or fortunately, to the next speaker, Corentin Lutgen. So let's see if she can join. And otherwise, I'll invite you again to check the polls section. So on the upper right of your screen, we have 2 new polls for you. That would be we would be very pleased if you can fill the polls. We would like to know if you knew these companies that we are introducing to you today, and if you have any an interest to contact them later on. So please, before you leave the session, before you leave the webinar, answer the polls, the 2 new polls on the right section. So I'm very glad to welcome on stage Corentin Lutgen from the company Net Engineering, new within the materials and manufacturing cluster. It's a pleasure to receive you here. and you're going to speak with us about the pragmatic approach to the realization of your industrial projects. So Corentin, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. Hello, everybody. So I'm Corentin Ludgen, Technical Administrator of Net Engineering. So with this short presentation, I will try to show you how we use our pragmatic approach to realize industrial projects. So here. So a little introduction on our company. So it has been created in 2002 by our founder, Mr. Paul Mormont. That was at that time a consultant for the group Saint-Gobain, and his mission was to improve some machine on their production line. So this is where we started. Our company is located in Oberpallen, and we are dedicated to the industry and making special purpose machines. So how do we do that? But we rely on a skills network. So we have different engineers in our headquarters. So first, mechanical design. So we do the 3D modeling and all the calculation for each machines. We also do the electrical design, so the schematics, selection of the material, and also the electrical cabinet are made in-house. So when we have done this virtual part, I would say, then we need to bring our machine into life. This is why we have a long-term relationship with a manufacturing workshop in Romania. So good relation there that one guy of this workshop has created a net engineering entity there in Romania. And also with this workshop, they have big capacities, so they can handle different size of projects. So you will see what are the different size of project that we also can handle. And then after these machines, we need to give them a brain. So this is why we have also automation engineers that can program in different languages. So if we put that some kind of a timeline, but first with the client, we define what is the scope of the project, what are the issues, what must be solved in terms of specification or discussion. Sometimes it's not completely precise what needs to be done. So this is where also we use this pragmatic approach to find the right solution, not to overkill what is necessary because it will overkill the cost as well, but just the right solution for the right specification. So then after we do the design, the manufacturing, and after the test, the FAT and commissioning on site. We can also provide some maintenance service, but usually that is done directly by the factory. We provide, but we can provide the wear parts, of course, and the support for the programming. So which size of product we can handle? But as you can see on the left, so it's for the automotive industry, the electronic department. So it's a semi-automated, semi-manual station to help the operator to fulfill the correct procedure to assemble the different electronic parts. And on the right, it's a completely different project, very big project for the stone wool industry. So on top, it's a big dryer for coated boards, stone coated boards, 2 megawatt of power, 20 meter in length and 2.5 meter in wide. So very heavy, very big. And on the bottom is the following of the line. So we have some stacker and some elevated conveyors and different types of conveyors. So I can speak a lot of all the projects that we have done, but just for information, we have done more than 100 projects for the industry. Different, it can be rolling machine, cutting machine, stacking machine, conveyors, and then small assembly station, dryers, robotic area. So we can do really a lot of things and different project size. So if I just take one example among the other, maybe I can speak of this one. So it's for the automotive industry here. The factory is making a carpet floor for the cars. So here is just a process step. So at that time, it was an operator taking the carpets from a kind of rack that had to flip them on themselves and put them into a mold. So the product in itself, it's quite light, between 5 and 10 kilograms, but quite large in dimension and flexible, soft. So not really easy to handle. This is why it was the first used by this step was done by a man. And of course, we have other data, also the parameter to consider as the cycle time, to keep the product quality and also to make something reliable. So the next step, as I said, we use this pragmatic approach to find the most appropriate solution. So here we, after of course different revision and investigation, we try to do this. So it's kind of a portal with double axis servo motors, and we will take the carpet with some vacuum cups, as it has some kind of plastic covers on its surface. In the middle, we have so the line in the middle is some kind of metal sheet to help this flexible carpet to follow its path. So if I go through the different pictures, we can see basically what is the process we imagine to do that. So at the end, we have this vacuum cup rotating on its axis to flip the carpet inside the mold. So that is the imagination that we did. We validate. We think it's the right solution to do. We validate that concept with the client, and then we go to the design. So here it's the 3D model, the final 3D model. So we go really deep into detail with also the cable trays, cable chains. So we know exactly where are going all the cable and the supplies. And then for the manufacturing, it's also better to follow their work if everything is well defined. Then we have the manufacturing, so you can see the result of this machine. On the right, we have also the corresponding electrical cabinets, so it's very nice, very clean. Then we have the installation step. So here we hire some transporter and we do the installation, final installation into the client side, so that we can handle as well. And then after we have the commissioning, of course, before there has been the FAT, the factory acceptance test. And here it's the final commissioning at the client side. So we can see the vacuum cups coming onto the carpet. And then we have the different steps. So here we take the carpet, we start to flip it. So we continue to flip the carpet there. And then at the end, we put it into the mold. And then the portal is coming back and for taking the next carpet. So here, of course, there are different sensors involved, etc. But it's just to show you an application among others that we have done. And that is the cycle back again. So with this short presentation, I hope to convince you that with us, your next concept can become a reality. So it can be a prototype, a production machine, or a test bench. You are welcome to contact us to explain your next project. Thank you very much for your attention. So I am ready for your question if you have some.
Thanks a lot, Corentin. Yeah, very interesting. And I think there are many manufacturers that would be interested by what you're doing, what your technology. So we have one question for you from the audience. So question to Net Engineering. What are the key points of innovation of your company? By the presentation, I see you optimize the industrial process and manufacturing.
Yeah, it's a good question. The key points, I would say, it's really to find I would say the correct machine to what is your request. So we have a lot of manufacturers that are specialized in different fields, and sometimes it's difficult to find the correct machine, or the cost is not really what you expect, because maybe the process you request is a little bit more simple, or the variables that you want to deal with are not exactly the same as you can find. So on our side, we will exactly look at what is necessary, what you want to do, and then find the right components and put everything that together with some engineering mind and innovations to have the correct value. Sometimes the correct process. So sometimes we'll go a little bit around what you want. For example, we had a project where we had to explode, to test the maximum pressure of pneumatic cylinder, for example. But playing with pressure and the fluid that we had to use but not so easy. So just with instead of playing with the pressure directly, but we play with the volume, we can have easily some pump, and with some little sensor, then we can tune this pressure. And yes.
Okay, so it's really customized solutions. You really adapt to what the customer wants. Okay, thank you, Corentin. That's all.
Thank you also.
I wish you a nice day. It was really nice having you on board.
The same to you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So our next speaker will be from Polar Energy. It is Romain Guillot. He's co-founder and director of Polar Energy, and he will speak about monitoring the water consumption of your buildings and assets. Very, very actual and very interesting. So Romain, if you can go on stage. Welcome. We see your presentation. And I remind you, there is a poll for you, for the audience to answer, because you leave the session. So do not leave without answering the poll. Romain, if you unmute, then you can speak.
Voilà. Vous m'entendez?
Yes, oui. Très bien.
Open...
Là, on ne vous entend plus. Unmute. So the polls section asks 2 questions. First, did you know the introduced company before this webinar? Yes or no. And then will you contact some of the speakers after the events? So you just have to answer yes or no. It's very quick, but we need your answer. Thank you very much. Now I think Romain is ready to speak.
Voilà. Good morning, everyone.
Merci,
thank you very much, and sorry for the delay. It's technology time. So I would like with a dramatic start by telling you that every year we are wasting 700 million cubic meters of water worldwide. As you know, its price is constantly rising, and there are a few reliable solutions to control it remotely. As an example, water consumption monitoring is only done 1 to 3 times a year for an individual person, apartments or house. And for company, a lot of them are still done manually by hands. Some companies use also some GTC, and they've done, they get the data once a day, which does not allow to have a precise vision of your consumption, nor to quickly identify leaks and overconsumption. So the question is, what if there was a solution that would solve these challenges? So we decided to create Polar Energy with one of my partners, Christophe, and we have the solution to offer you. So with a focus on water monitoring, pressure management, and leak detection technologies, we offer intelligent and advanced solutions to help you preserve water and prevent leaks. I'll give you an example of a client who manages several buildings in Europe. And as soon as we install our devices, we detected an invisible leak of 80 liters per hour in his network that quickly worsened. So that represents an average loss of 100 liters per month. And our technology allowed the customer to avoid a loss of 435 euros per month. A few months later, we detected in the same building a leak of a toilet flush a Friday evening that would have remained open all weekend if we hadn't alert the facility management. Another example I will show you later, we have another company where they were consuming 100 liters per hour every day without noticing it. So our solution is to analyze your water consumption data using some sensors. Some of them are BRIM sensors, to provide our clients, you, with the customized reports and a real visibility on all your buildings. We also provide personal recommendation and alerts such as water leak, overconsumption, and as well with an automatic or SMS remote shutdown on the water circuit. What makes us different from our competitors is that we also have solutions to control your energy, fuel, heating, and air conditioning. And we can also help in the sub-metering of your tenants, so for businesses, all on the same platform. As of today, we have more than 30 customers, 220 devices connected in the market that represent 6 billion of housing in the Benelux only, and where as you know, most of the infrastructures are worn out. So how does it work? Our customers, they purchase one of the device, and then they have a small annual subscription for analyzing the data, the alerts by SMS, and the platform they get. So on the screen, you can see, for example, on top left, there was an office building, and as you can see, the consumption, water is, every day it's open and closed of the water, and we had detected, like, for example, 2 anomalies. And on the bottom right, I don't know if you see very clearly, but we can even go, so this is the management of the whole building, so the main entrance, and we were able to detect even a 12 liter per hour overconsumption or leak. Next. That is the story I told you about this company that were consuming 100 liters per hour since we installed our device on the main meters in December. And as you can see, they took time, but mid-February, they managed to reduce by 50% their consumption by using the platform to really see where the consumption could be, get better, let's say, like that. So really, the difference is that if we look per hour, we are able to tell you when and where you get another consumption or a leak. So you can quickly, detect and take some actions. What else can I tell you? So the COVID was not our friend last year, as many of you, I guess. But we started 2 strong partnerships with one with a startup that offers innovative digital solution for facilities. The company is called Augment.lu, and another to remove lime scale in your pipes without chemicals, without maintenance as well. So thank you very much for your time, and thanks to Polar Energy, now you can avoid water damage and reduce your impacts. You can contact us by email or visit our website for more info.
Thank you very much, Romain. I think we have a question for you.
Yes, Romain, a question. You speak about sensors to get data. What is the technology embedded in the sensors, and how are the data transferred to the business intelligence layer?
Okay, so we use IoT sensors, and we work with 2 kinds of communication, GSM with the SIM cards, and we also use the LoRa, so radio LoRa network for bigger infrastructures. So the device are installed on your existing water meter. It will collect the data every hour, and once a day they will send it to a web platform where the client can get access and visualize the data, download with an Excel file his data to do any report. And we also provide every month for companies a report, a custom-made report for them, or annually for the gérance, the syndic. Is that answering your question?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you. We have another question. What is the battery life? How many messages per hour with GSM connectivity and with LoRa?
All right. So the battery life is, we said it's around 10 years. Why we are able to do that? It's actually the device are in sleep mode for 24, let's say 24 hours. It collects data, and once a day we send the data to the platform. But if the device detects a water leak, so an overconsumption, let's say, it will automatically wake up and send you an SMS.
Okay.
Okay.
So otherwise, it's in sleep mode for the whole day.
Okay, thank you, Romain. I just have very, very quick questions. Do you have an idea of, on the network, the national network, what is the leakage rate?
On the Luxembourgish?
Yes.
No, I don't. I won't say. I want to be able to say some numbers,
Okay.
but
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Romain, for this very nice presentation.
Thank you very much.
And welcome. And Caroline, we move on to
Pascal Bricmont.
Okay.
Thank you, Romain.
Thank you.
So, Pascal Bricmont, we invite you on floor. You're project manager of Groupe Jourdan, and you will speak about hydrogen fuel cell range extender. And I would like to be convinced that is the future. So I hope you can explain that to us. And I recall to the audience that the poll section needs to be filled. We need your answer. Do you know these companies? Will you contact them? So please, before leaving this session, answer the poll. Thank you very much. Pascal, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everybody. So I will I thank you first for letting me doing this presentation and present our little group. I'm Pascal Bricmont. I'm the product manager in Groupe Jourdan. We are located in Kelen. And what are we doing? In fact, we are, as you can see on the top left, we are a dealer of truck, mainly trucks and light, medium commercial vehicles and heavy trucks. This is what we have done for many years, more than 30 years, and that we are still doing. And we want to do a kind of U-turn and go to really have clean vehicle, clean full fuel vehicles. So I'm going to explain it to you a little bit about that. So first of all, a summary. So I talk a little bit of our core business. What are we doing? The way we want to go to the 100% clean vehicle. The main threat, I would say, that's the history when we started to scratch our head and get some project. The project summary, what about innovation degree that we have? And also it's important to know where do we stand in the H2 field. That means in the H2 hydrogen framework. And of course, it's a 100% green project. So that will be. So our group, in fact, as I told you, 30 years. So we started in 89. We have a workshop, a garage for light, medium and heavy truck. That means from 3 tons up to 40 tons or more. Vehicles for goods, that means transportation, and people, of course, people transportation, buses. So basically here in Luxembourg, we have 2 companies, Jourdan Luxembourg and Lux Dépannage, because we have a truck trailer system and a staff. We are around 45 employees. What are we doing? As I told you, we are doing the sales, after sales, so all what is about trucks, repair, maintenance, parts, bodywork, painting, all that. And it's very important, we are doing the road assistance and we have heavy truck towing. So you can see a little bit, we are able to help you if you have a breakdown anywhere in Luxembourg. And also we have also a transport company in Belgium. So it's important to understand why we have done this project. In fact, 2 years ago, we get a big. We have been informed by Iveco, because we were Iveco dealers, that our contract will be ended in 2020. That was a big shock for us, of course. And so we have scratched our head to think, what are we going to be able to do? So that's why we have been in touch with Lux Innovation and start a Fit for Growth analysis. And that's why, for example, you see here one of the part of it is a strategic segmentation analysis. And that has been able to evaluate us to find outstanding ideas and finally find one way of differentiation, because that was very important for us, one way of differentiation that will go in the clean fuel transportation. This is, for example, very important, the technologies that we are using. Everybody knows truck are using diesel, petrol, gas, and so it's internal combustion engine. And we have all, of course, the knowledge, the people that are able to do it. But it's very important that we want to do this U-turn to switch to, of course, a clean zero emission vehicles. And this is our project that we have. We want to start. We are starting now. It's called Range Extender H2. What is it about? In fact, we are going to convert electric powertrain vehicles based on battery electric vehicles to hybrid fuel cell hydrogen electric vehicles by integrating a range extender. And I give you more details, of course, in a minute. Just a bit of history. As I told you, it's when we scratch our head when we had this big announcement, we scratched our head in 2019, January, and from the beginning to now, it's almost 2 years and a half, 2 years and a quarter. What we have done, of course, we have attended different conferences. We attended the H2 conference organized in February by Lux Innovation. I've been myself in Hanover to visit the fair, big fuel hydrogen fair center. We did a first project deposit at Lux Innovation in May 2019, and I passed all the different stops we made, but we have visited many people, get in touch with people in France, Germany, or Luxembourg. And finally, we have deposited our project, research and development project at the ministry in August last year. But due to COVID, of course, it took some delay, and so we are waiting for the reply right now. So it will be done in the next coming weeks. But getting back to this project, in fact, why hydrogen? Is because we are convinced we are not alone, of course. There are many people that are talking about it right now. But it's one of the solutions to decarbonize the current road transport technology. Without, and that's the key point, without compromising with the range, that means the kilometers that you can do, without compromising with flexibility of the engine, operability of the vehicles. It's almost for the driver, almost the same. And of course, it's very important for us. It's meeting all company goals for diversification, local and green energy. It would be, of course, very important to have the production of this hydrogen made by renewable energy, like solar or hydro or whatever. This electricity is able to use electrolyzer that we can produce hydrogen on one side that could be storage and used by the vehicle later on. So what is it about? A range extender. In fact, as I told you, we are going to convert electric powered vehicle using the fuel cell hydrogen. So we have a fuel cell that is producing, using hydrogen, a chemical reaction and producing electricity, using this electricity with electric engine to drive the vehicle. I don't go in too much detail here, but it's the way. It's important to the key point, the heart of this vehicle, in fact, is the fuel cell. And the fuel cell, what is it about? On one side, on the left side, you see hydrogen that will be separate, I would say, and get through a membrane. The electron will pass and produce, of course, electricity. And on the other side, the H plus hydrogen proton will combine with oxygen coming from the air. And the only thing that we get out are water and a bit of heat, of course, because this is not 100% yield. That's important because no waste, no gases, no NOx, no nitrogen oxide, no carbon oxide, no dust, almost nothing. But of course, it's very important for us regarding innovation to be able to connect all these different components that I mentioned: the tank, the pressure, the variator, the motor, the electric motor, all the fuel cell, all this. The outside temperature, for example, the pollution of the air that could affect the fuel cell, all these parameters has to be connected in between themselves. And of course, we want to use artificial intelligence to be able to monitor all these parameters online all the time, and of course, remotely. What regarding a summary, of course, we want to build up a prototype and also be able to have a vehicle, a little vehicle for demonstration that the people could see what is it about. The budget is a little bit more than €1 million, and lead time, yeah, for sure, we need at least 2 years. And the task force, we have already 6 people here. I need to outsource some more engineer, and we will use outsourcing from people that we already know in Germany and in France. Important also to know that we will be within the hydrogen value chain in Luxembourg, because the value chain with hydrogen is start from the production of hydrogen coming from Luxembourg or elsewhere, the storage of it, distribution of it, and of course we are part of using it with our vehicles. And it's important also because we will be able to develop a kind of competence center based focusing on hydrogen.
Pascal, I think we need to conclude now.
So. Yeah, okay, no problem. I go directly to the conclusion, in fact. And the last thing I want to say is that what is the most important thing in a project is really creativity, passion, for challenge and innovation of the men and women that are part of our company. That's really what I trust in the people. Thanks a lot for your attention, and I hope that we will be able to succeed.
Thank you, Pascal. That's a very good philosophy. Trust the people. So I think it's really interesting. We have one question for you.
Yeah, thank you, Pascal. Thank you, Caroline. Alain Schumacher likes the initiative. Why H2 and not batteries? So that's the first question. And then how is the project financing model, partnership or participation? And the last one is what is the project duration and required final deliverables? So maybe I can repeat why H2 and not batteries? That's first. And then financing model. And then the third one is the project duration and final deliverables.
Yeah, many questions. So why H2 and not battery? In fact, it's not competition. You will have vehicles using battery for the short distances, like 100, 200 kilometers. But when you need the long haul, when you need to drive 1,600 kilometers with one refill, there is no other solution, because the battery will be so heavier that, for example, a truck would want to drive 600 kilometers, then he has a few tons of battery, and it takes a long time to charge the battery. So that's the reason. It's not competition. It's another way of using the energy. And of course, the hydrogen fuel cell vehicles will need battery also. We will have battery. So that's one. So the second question was a financial mode. Yes, financial mode. In fact, what is very important is to be able to get hydrogen at a good price, I would say. We are talking about, for example, 10 euros per kilo. But nowadays, to be able to produce at such a cost, there is only one way, is to use what we call the black hydrogen, which is produced by steam forming using methane, and of course getting a lot of CO2. So the way is to be able to get renewable energy at a low cost, to be able to use electrolyzer to produce this H2. It's for the for the fuel, that's the main concern, of course. But also, it's important to be able to convert electric vehicle with range extender. And it's true, the cost will be important. But for the time being, I do not have the right figures, of course. We are at the beginning of the project. And what was the last?
Project duration and deliverables.
Yeah, for the project, as I mentioned, for us, it's at least 2 years to be able to produce a prototype. And as soon as we have done a prototype, I would say we are able to use different type, implement it in other vehicles. And that's the idea.
Okay.
And forecast for 10 years. I'm sure that everybody who is a little bit interested in hydrogen, you will see the numbers are incredible. I don't know, because just think that in 2030, we need to decrease by 30% or more. It depends on the country, the CO2 emission. And there are not that many ways, because if you use a diesel, even if it's a little bit improvement, or gas engine, but you always produce CO2. So one way is really to drastically drop it, and there is only one way: electrification. That electric vehicle, that's good, but also a range extender that use electric vehicles. So that's the solution. In fact, there are not that many solutions.
Okay, Pascal, there is also a question with 3 questions inside. So I will just raise the first one, and then please reply on the questions directly in writing. Did Rotarex help in designing H2 valves?
Yes, that's for sure.
And for the other questions, I let you reply directly on the chat.
Okay. Yes. So
thank you very much.
Yeah,
Pascal, for a very nice speech.
Yeah, so, thanks a lot. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
For you.
Bye-bye.
So last but not least, it's not Alisa, it's Pietre, but it's Gideren. So really happy to have you on board. And you're going to speak about living green walls. So you will conclude this present yourself session. So Pietre, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello. I'm not Alisa, so I have to step in for her because she had to join the site this morning. So first of all, I want to thank Lux Innovation for giving us this opportunity to present ourselves. So I'm going to talk about our company, Gideren. We are engineers building green wall. We started a couple of years ago. So as I said, background in engineering, a bit in technology sharing, but also in control, in water engineering in different shapes and forms, such as hydroelectrics or water purification. As a company, we believe also in social sustainability, which is why we got ourselves accredited as SIS, so Société d'Impact Sociétal, which means that our social and environmental performance is being monitored on a yearly basis. In practice, also that means that we design and build everything here in Luxembourg. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, that one. Now there's the next one, thanks. Okay, right. What we do, we're doing 2 things basically that are interlinked. So on the right-hand side of the slide, you see one of our irrigators. It's a standalone machine that sits on a field where collarbor grows vegetables for the Luxembourgish market. By standalone, I mean that it's not connected to the water, to the electricity grid. It's got these cubicles that are being filled, and then the watering is triggered automatically with the energy that is generated by a solar panel. The field that this one serves is about half a hectare, and the machine can deliver about 2,000 liters of water a night. On the left-hand side, you see what I'm going to talk to you about. It's living green walls that planted walls attached to facades of buildings. The ones that you see here is a good 5 by 3 meters, and it is attached to a wall in Deverding. It has got about 30 different plant species chosen for their impact on biodiversity, but also for the aesthetics. What links? This particular wall the customer was very happy with, so they ordered six the same that will go up now this spring. Can I have the next slide, please? I try myself. Okay, right. So the link between the two is that the living green wall needs watering. So we use our irrigator to provide the wall with water and food. I go to the next. Okay, right. Now, why do people want to have green walls? What does the customer want? So the first point is, of course, aesthetics. Plants are pretty, and they are a means of improving the aesthetics of a building. But then customers also want sort of be seen as being green, so they want to buy the green credentials. And that, of course, plants on the building bring in. Within the building itself, the green wall contributes to the isolation, so adding an additional layer on the outside, but also in summer, there's some water evaporating off the surface of the building that helps with the cooling. So the general building performance is enhanced. Also, a green wall adds some value to the property. On the level of the city, green walls have a positive impact on the climate. They can reduce the temperature at hotspots. They can attract different living organisms in the city, so increase biodiversity. They reduce the noise level generally. They reduce pollution, and generally also they add to the feel-good factor in the city. There were a number of studies done around Corona that reflect on the fact that greenery in the city is improving the well-being of the people. All this combined leads to a positive impact on the climate, and in the current climate pact, the municipalities in Luxembourg get credential points for things like green walls. An additional benefit is the optimization of the use of horizontal space, which is of course at a premium in a city. So in general, planting things on horizontal surfaces in town is not necessarily the best use of the space. So using the wall's vertical surface is actually optimizing the usage of the space in the city. Installing the green wall is we developed a modular system that is attached to a structure, a steel structure that is attached to the facade of the building. The gabions that contain the plants are made from a welded metal mesh into which geotextile is fitted to retain the grow medium. We use a volcanic gravel, which has good properties of water retention, while at the same time remaining permeable. What you also see is that on each level between gabions, we have watering lines passing that deliver both water and food to the plant. Last but not least, we have the plants that are chosen for the aesthetics, but also for fostering biodiversity. You will find that when you install a living wall, it will be colonized by spiders within the first couple of weeks, which means that there's a lot of insect life passing through, otherwise the spiders would not stay. We have about 50 plants per square meters in our design. Here's a picture of a site. You see on the top left in the picture the metal substructure to which we attach. You see a black membrane between the gabions and the structure that is designed to keep the moisture out of the building. on the scaffolding, you see pre-planted gabions. That's the way they come to the site. So it's all pre-assembled, pre-planted in our own workshop, and then installed on site. In addition to the ease of installation, the gabions have the advantage of being exchangeable. So it's a completely modular system. If there is an issue with the planting in one particular location in the wall, it's pretty easy to just exchange that particular part. Maintenance is very much as in your own garden at home. Plants need a bit of looking after. Generally, you would say at the end of the summer and at the end of the winter, needs a going over, removing of things that should not grow, possibly replacing plants. It's only a very few percent normally, cutting things back, pruning things, and so on. A word on the control of the water. That's to a certain extent moving back to the things that Romain talked about before. We control the watering with a PLC, both the watering and the feeding of the wall. What we want to do is never miss a watering, and what we also don't want to do is to overwater the wall, because of course water is a precious commodity that we must not waste. So therefore we have integrated a number of moisture sensors in the wall that triggers a PLC to switch on a pump to deliver the water and the food to the plants as needed. The very last sentence, what is missing for the moment for us is a connection to meteorological data. So basically a net connection through which we could access meteorological data so that we could move to a predictive control model rather than just reacting to what we measure. And that is all that we wanted to say this morning. I hope I didn't forget anything. I just show you also here our vertical herb garden.
Thank you, Pierre. Very, very interesting presentation. Actually, I see that you have different activities. Nice to have you today. So I would like to thank you very much. I would like to thank all the speakers for this very interesting Present Yourself session. So it's been 1 year that we did not gather the clusters all together. So it was really a pleasure to have you on board to present the newcomers into the clusters. Please answer the poll session before you leave. That's really important. And now I let my colleagues conclude.
Thank you, Caroline. Very briefly, so very interesting 6 presentations related to industry, circular economy, and clean energy. I hope it gave you some ideas. But here at Lux Innovation, we think that we need to create bridges between industry and construction, industry and recycling, industry and health tech. And as we've seen, for example, with the last presenter, from water to construction, because the wall, I invite you to see the wall at the 1535 in the Blanche. It's really working well. Just to mention also that there will be a replay of this session, and that to foster these business developments in the cross-sectorial collaborations, we have a few tools like the 360 analysis and the Fit for Circularity program, which I invite you to contact us to discuss about. Those programs, we can support you and help you to build business opportunities in through cross-sectorial collaborations. So you're welcome to contact us. And our contact will be in the presentation that will be sent to you. Thank you. Caroline?
Yes, I conclude. Okay,
so pretty good. That's fine
So,
then.
I wish you all a very nice day. Thanks for your attention. If there is no more questions and nothing to say, so don't hesitate to watch the replay available on Lux Innovation's website. So yes, we'll put our LinkedIn link into the chat. and do not hesitate to contact us. And see you soon. We'll have more events like this in the future, on live or physically when we can see each other again.
Thanks everybody for your participation, and enjoy the weekend.
And thank you, Nathalie.
Yes, thank you.